Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm just going to be telling you my story of how I found out I was 17 and pregnant. So yeah, just want to say sorry for what I look like again. I promise I will not look like rubbish every time I film a video. It's just like it's cold. I just want to be comfy. So just like been a chill day today. It hasn't been a very nice day. So yeah, it's just been a chill out day. I've got what's it called, Big Bang Theory on, so it's paused though, so you won't hear it. But yeah, if anyone loves Big Bang Theory, right, these are my films, right? Big Bang Theory and Friends. If anyone loves them, like literally, I've watched them 1,000 times. Like as soon as I finish watching it, I'll watch it again, like from the beginning, every time. So if I haven't watched Friends in a little while, but those two are my favourite series to watch. If anyone agrees with me on that, comment down below. If not, tell me what your favourite series or your favourite film is. So yeah, anyway, right, let's get into the video without going off trail. So I guess I'll just kind of start when okay, so me and my boyfriend have been together for nearly 6 years, and in 2018 I went no well okay well in 2017 I had my first injection for contraception projection no injection yeah, which is literally they put a needle like in your lower like hip, like on your like back hip, like where your sort of like where your bum line is. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, it's only a little needle, doesn't hurt. Yeah, and they just put in some liquid and it lasts for 12 weeks, and then you have to get another one. I have been on the pill. I don't know what pill I was on, so it was a couple of years ago, but yeah, I was on the pill and there's nothing wrong with it. I just kept forgetting to take it and I got brain like a sieve, so yeah, that just didn't really work out for me. And you can either get the injection or the implant, which is where they put like it's like, I think I haven't seen one before, but they're like, I'm pretty sure it's like a little like tube, and it's about the size of, you know, like little hair grips, like bobbin pins, and it just goes in your upper arm, like up here, and they literally just slide it in. A couple of my friends have got them. I didn't want to get that because it lasts up to 3 years, and at this point, my mum in 2017, my mum knew that I was having sex, and obviously she wanted me to go on some sort of contraception. So I was talking to her. I went through. I got my injection through my school because my school are quite good with things like that, but quite a lot of schools don't offer things like that. So if your school doesn't, then you can always go and talk to them. You can talk to a nurse or anyone really, to be totally honest. Any teacher that you trust in the school, just go and ask them about it, and they'll tell you whether they offer it at the school or they send you in the right way, in the right direction if you need to get contraception. My school did offer condoms as well, but yeah, I didn't use them where I was on the injection anyway. But yeah, you can go to your local pharmacy. They'll help you out. They'll tell you. I don't know if they do it for you or not 100%. I know some people have gone to the pharmacy and they've done it for them, but I don't know for 100%. And it's all what's it called, I want to say confidential. Yes, sorry, brain. It's all confidential, so they won't call up your mum, your dad, or anyone that you're living with. They won't tell anybody. and the school, they're not allowed to tell anyone. It's your right as a person to do that. Like yeah, so that's just what I'm just telling you guys. So if anyone needs any contraception, then, and you don't know how to get it or anything, and you don't want your mum to find out, you can go through the school. They are not allowed to tell your mum about asking for contraception, about if they think that you're in danger or something like that, they will contact your mum, and they'll talk to you first and like talk to you properly, and probably get somebody to come in and like, I don't really know, I don't know the whole thing, but they'll talk to you about it, whatever they think. If they want to call up your mum, then they will tell you that they're going to call up your mum. So yeah, but 9 times out of 10 they won't. It's only if they think that you're in danger, and it's just for your protection, really. Okay, so yeah, so yeah, let's just, yeah. Okay, so as I said, I had my first injection in 2017, and then I had my last one on, I think it was on the 18th of October of 2018, and that was the last time I had my injection. I wasn't on any contraception for a year. It was mainly, I didn't go to school. I was quite a naughty kid. Like, I didn't really listen to anyone. I was very rebellious, and yeah, so that's why I had my last injection, because I wasn't going to school and I wasn't there to get the injection. And to be totally honest, that was just the last thing on my mind. I might actually do a whole nother video of my like school life, because I think quite a lot of people can relate to a couple of things, and anyone who's gone through what I've gone through, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So I'll do another video on that. I might do that. That might be my next video, possibly. So yeah, that's when I might have had my last injection then. So then I wasn't on any contraception for a year, and obviously when I had my last injection, when I didn't have the injection, me and my boyfriend, I was still sexually active, and obviously I didn't fall pregnant. So I thought that I was infertile, or there was something to do with my boyfriend, or I didn't know. I just didn't think that we could have kids. Like one of us or both of us just couldn't have children. So that's why I didn't go on anything else. Clearly that's not true. I just found out like a little while ago that, like, after I fell pregnant, I found out that sometimes it can actually take like 2 years for it to come out of your system. But that does not mean to say don't go on any contraception, because you should, and just please do. I'm just like, I feel like I've got loads of things to say, and like it's just like all over the place. So I'm really sorry if this video is like all messed up. I'm getting out of breath from just talking. Okay, so I'll just tell you guys what made me think I was pregnant. So obviously I have looked up symptoms before, like throughout that year. There was a couple of times where I did think I was pregnant. Obviously I wasn't. And I looked up quite a lot of symptoms on Google, and so like sore breasts, and like I can't really remember everything, to be totally honest, like for signs of pregnancy, because quite a lot of them are like the same as if you was going to get your period, depending on what you would normally experience. So basically I had like tender breasts and like you just couldn't, like, I don't know how to, you couldn't touch them. I couldn't even wear a top, like, obviously I did, but it just hurt. Like, I'm really sorry if anyone doesn't like this. If anyone doesn't like things like this, then just click off this video. But like, my nipples, I couldn't wear a bra because it was too tight, and like anything that was like touching my nipple, even like the tiniest little bit, I just couldn't. But I just kept shutting it off. I was like, no, I'm not pregnant. No, I'm not. Like, I do this every month. Like, well, not every month, but I just, where I kept thinking that I was, I'm sorry, I look really blue. It's just the lighting outside. I'm really sorry about that. But yeah, I just kept thinking I was, and then I just, like, when it come to actually, I actually was pregnant, I just kept putting it off because I was just like, no, it's fine. I don't need to go and get a pregnancy test. I don't need to worry about it. It's fine. Like, I don't really care. Like, I know that I'm not. In my back of my head, that's just what I was saying. And I just kept shoving it off. I shoved it off for about 3 weeks until I was talking to my friend, and I can't even remember what we was even talking about. We was talking about something, and then pregnancy just randomly, I don't even know how it even come up in conversation, but it come up. And then I remember I went home, and then like an hour later I was just like, I'd messaged her. I was like, come with me to the shop, so I'm going to go and get a pregnancy test. And we went to every shop around my area. Nowhere had a pregnancy test, and I'm not even nowhere. So that's what, like, I was thinking, obviously there's some reason why there's no pregnancy test anywhere. Like, in the back of my head I was like, I don't know whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, like something's trying to tell me that I am pregnant or that I'm not, like, just from like there not being any tests anywhere. And by this point, by the time we went to the last shop, it must have been like 10:30, 11 o'clock. And then she goes, oh, well, I've got one at mine. And I was like, oh, okay then. So we've just walked all around the shops. And but yeah, no, it was fine. So we went back to hers, and she gave me, it was a clear blue test, you know, the ones that tell you how many weeks you're pregnant. And I was just going to take it home and do it at home, but she was like, no, do it here, I really want you to do it here. So I was like, okay. She only lives around the corner from me anyway, so I was like, that's fine. I don't care. I was still like, no, I know it's going to be negative. I know it's negative. So I done the test, and then I was sitting there, and I put the test down so you couldn't see it, so the other way, and I kept like turning over to like look at it, and it has a little timer, like a digital timer up in the corner, or in the bottom corner, I can't remember, but it was taking ages and ages to load, like to say not pregnant or pregnant. And I was just like, no, I'm not, and then I went to go and pick it up to look at it, and I was like, no, I can't look. Like, in the back of my head, that I was still like, no, I'm not, but it was just the thought of being pregnant that like just scared me. And so I just put the test down, and my mate picked it up and looked at it, and she was, oh my god. And I was just like, oh my god. I just sat there. So I took the test off her, just sat there and stared at the test. My head was down, I had my legs crossed, I was sat on her bed, and I don't know, it was so weird. Like, I had like just, it was just blank. Like, my whole head was blank. Like, I wasn't happy, I wasn't sad, I wasn't angry, I had no emotion. I was just in shock. I was just staring at this pregnancy test. So, pregnant 2 to 3 weeks. And I'm just staring at it as she's talking to me, and I don't even know what she was even saying. I can't remember if I answered her back, but all I remember is just staring at his test, and just everything around me just went blank. Like, I had no idea where I was, but like I knew where I was, but like it was so, like, I was in so much shock, like, where I was so put it off for so long, and was like, no, I'm not. I know I'm not pregnant. I know that I'm not, and clearly I was. So obviously that was a good pregnancy test as well, because it was a clear blue one. It told me how many weeks. And okay, and then I went home. I just sat down. My boyfriend was out. He didn't come back until pretty late that night. And I sort of just sat there, and I didn't really do anything. Like, the TV was on in the background. I remember my phone kept ringing, and I was just sitting there, just looking at the test. And then I thought, because I got really worried, because I thought my mum was going to walk in and see the test. So I put it down on the side, and I sort of like, just like on my window ledge, closed my curtain, so like it was like hidden but not. And I just sat there, like, trying to take in that I'm going to be pregnant, that I am pregnant, that I'm going to have a child, I'm going to have a baby to look after, that I'm going to sooner or later have a toddler, that I'm going to have a teenager, that I'm going to have to, that I can't do anything for myself for 18 years. But at this point, I was so excited, but still in so much shock, and just so, I was more focusing on all the bad things that could possibly happen. So how am I going to tell my mum? Like, I'm still living under my mum's roof. Like, what's she going to do? How am I going to tell the rest of my family? Like, how am I going to tell my boyfriend? Like, what's going to happen? Is he going to break up with me? Or is my mum going to kick me out? Like, there was just so many emotions and so many things to think. And I just basically thought every single one of them. So yeah, I was going to do a separate video on how I told my boyfriend, but it is kind of short. Well, it is short. Yeah, so I'll just tell you how I told him in this video, and then how I told my mum and the rest of my family I'll do in a separate video. So obviously at this point, it must have been like, what, 12:30, 1 at night, and it was only me and my best mate who knew about me being pregnant. And the next person I wanted to tell was my boyfriend. So I waited for him to come home. I tried to go to sleep. I was waiting and waiting, and I just couldn't sleep for nothing. And he just took ages to come home, and he doesn't have a phone, so I couldn't ring him, just like tell him to come home, so I need to talk to him. But yeah, so I just had to wait for him to come home. Excuse me. He got home about 1:30, and at night. He come home about 1:30 at night, and I just sort of looked at him, like, just gave him a look, and he immediately was like, oh my god, what's the matter, what's happened? And I just led there, I didn't say anything, and I was just like, oh my god, how am I, like, in my head I was like, how am I going to tell him, like, how am I going to tell him that? And so he just he just kept asking me, what's the matter, what's going on, like, talk to me, like, what's the matter? So I just sat there, and then I pulled out the pregnancy test, and I just went like that, like, here, there you go, look what you've done. No, but no, it wasn't like that, it was just like, here. And he just looked at it, and he looked at me and smiled, and he's like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah, I'm pregnant. And I just like, yeah, let's just take that in for a second. And yeah, and to be fair, he was fine about it. He was just like, it was like, oh my god, like I'm so happy, like, but he was saying all that to me, but I think it was more like to reassure me and like not scare me. But I could tell that he was really like shocked, obviously, and just didn't quite know what to say and what to do. I knew that he was scared. I could just see it on his face, and yeah, so I'm really sorry about that noise in the background, by the way. But yeah, no, so that's how I told my boyfriend, and that's how I found out that I was pregnant. But I just want to clarify, at this point, it's still the same, well, it's not the same day. It's still in the same like couple of hours that I found out. It's only me, my best mate, and my boyfriend who know at this point. So in my next video, it will either be how I told my mum, or how like my school, like being kicked out of school, and like just like my school experience. So yeah, that's my story. I'm really sorry that it was just like all over the shop. Yeah, again, I'm really sorry for how I look and for the noise in the background. Yeah. I just want to clarify, by the way, I still live at home with my mum and my mum's boyfriend and my 2 little brothers, and my boyfriend lives with me for the minute. But yeah, I'll get into that like in another video further along. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hey guys, sorry, I just wanted to come back on here and just show you my bump, because I totally forgot to show you my baby bump. It's not very big, and yeah, it's not very big, but yeah. So this is the bump. I did have my belly button pierced, that's why there's a little hole there. So yeah, bye.